And also try to remember that our external manifesting reality is a mirror of what's going on inside. It's not just arising out of nowhere. Why do you still meet people who you're challenged by? I don't. I live on the same planet, sort of, as you guys, but I don't experience it the same way anymore. And I don't meet the same sort of person or the same sort of situation. I don't meet the situation where I'm ashamed, where I'm embarrassed, where I'm feeling lacking, or I shouldn't be this, or shouldn't be that. And partly, in fact, no, not partly, entirely, I would say, that is due to my clearing practice. Now, I've been doing this for about 36 or more years now, so I've had a lot of practice, of course. But I also recognize that we're all driven to some degree or other by what we can call karmic charge. This is like you're a battery, you've got a charge, a certain amount of charge when you're born. And then through lack of awareness, you continue to give energy to the battery so it never runs out. Through the clearing, for my part, and possibly the fact that there was a very different karmic charge operating for me than a lot of others, but through the clearing, that charge, instead of continuing to give energy to it, it was exhausted. And when you exhaust the charge, everything slows down. You have a very different point of view. You have a very different understanding of who you are in society. And society reacts or responds accordingly. So you're not continuing to deal with the same old, same old. And so where we feel that another is criticizing, commenting, not understanding, it's just this, again, very strong association with the body. And I've spoken about this before, that when we talk about shadow, which Jung referred to, of course, then I have come to the belief that shadow can only exist to the degree we identify with personality, with body consciousness in Buddhist terms. If we didn't identify, there would be no shadow. It's not possible. So one is giving birth to the other. Doesn't matter which one came first. It doesn't matter which way we try to address this situation. Whether we look at situations that show up in our life, as Mila was saying, if you notice, not when you're under pressure, but if you notice how those situations make you feel, do you notice any physiological change in those situations? Not when you're confronted, it's too late, you'll be lost in the emotion. So you do it now. You do it in a quiet time. You think back, and as I say, we'll go through this in a moment in the meditation, but you think back to when you were feeling uncomfortable. And what was that feeling like in the body? Can you name it? You can just say this is a feeling of discomfort, if you like. It doesn't have to be too exact. But then take a breath and put your attention somewhere else. Because increasingly, I believe it's obvious that your physiology is following your thoughts. So if you get caught in a loop of self-negation, of self-judgment, self-blame, then you're continuing to give energy to that particular emotion because the brain is just turning out lots of chemicals that turn into a feeling in the body. then your physiology changes. Then the whole nature of your being changes. The vibratory state of your being changes from one of contentment and peace, quiet, to one of insecurity. That's a transmission that other people around you will subconsciously pick up on and subconsciously react to. So it becomes a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Any point of view you hold about yourself that you continue to give energy to, including shame, of course, will change your physiology, will affect your manifesting reality. So last week, when I ran that piece about 17 seconds, when that guy was talking about, being in his normal state was one of contentment. But then if he's driving and someone cuts him off, well, obviously, if he was in that much contentment, no one would have cut him off. But he was telling a story to give an example, I believe. So just suspend judgment for the moment. He's driving in his car, someone cuts him off and he gets upset. Bit of road rage going on there. And it steams, he sort of festers. It's a sore that's not going to close. And he gets to work and he's complaining about this person, giving him a hard time. He gets home and he's complaining to his family about this guy that cut him off and blah, 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 blah. And he's getting really worked up. And the next day he said he's in the supermarket in the queue. He's only got 3 items. The lady in front's got 30 items. The guy on the register's new and he's not really experienced and he's fumbling and bumbling, taking time. And it's an opportunity for him to get angry. The situation has arisen that he can get angry on. So it's just really the universe giving back to him what he's putting out.